7 o'clock. If we could all rise for a Pledge of Allegiance.
That's behind it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got a really nice big crowd here tonight. I want this to be a very respectful, orderly meeting, and we're all neighbors here, and that's what we're going to have. All right? So with that, clerk, roll call.
Trustee Ball. Present. Sewell. Yeah. Crowell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Here.
And Trustee Prosser had some surgery and he's absent this evening.
Okay, we will start with public comment. Here at the township, you get up to 5 minutes. Just step forward to the podium there and state your name and where you're from, and go ahead.
Just want to say the issue that we have here at hand is very simple. And if anybody is still confused, I completely understand. Most people have busy lives and they don't get to attend every meeting like some of us have. Tonight you may hear people speak as they are being courageous or groundbreaking, but opinions are not facts. This is not about political belief. There's enough of that everywhere else right now. This is about Collinsville citizens treating each other like neighbors and elected officials doing the job that they are voted to do. The board is split, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and you don't see them fighting. They act like adults and they work together, and that's what matters. The only reason this has become so nasty and so confusing is because a small group of radicalized citizens have biased media sources, such as the alt page and the self-proclaimed liberal Collinsville Daily News, to spread lies, partial truths, and misinformation, all to create doubt and division and build their base. You're about to hear a lot of opinions tonight, and I urge you to focus on the vetted facts. This board has provided complete transparency. The whole situation is only complicated because a few people have made it hateful, divisive, and personal. So here are those simple facts, whether people like them or not. 10 months ago, this board put forth and passed a lawful budget for every department, and every department's budget was reduced. The assessor, Pete, did not even attend the budget meeting. No attempt to discuss or explain his budget needs. Instead, he stated that he would sue if he didn't receive nearly 3 times the funding that neighboring Edwardsville receives for a similar number of parcels and a similar service. He did sue twice, and he lost twice. The second time, the case was dismissed with prejudice. A judge ruled that the board's budget was lawful and that it was fair. And yes, that judge is a Democrat. But after losing in court, the assessor made no attempt to work with the board or comply with the law. His office is ran with no clear timekeeping or management. He refuses to use time clocks. There's an employee who has reportedly not been in the office for years, still remaining on payroll. Employees have retired with every single vacation day paid out, and no verification process. Taxpayers are funding an office that is being ran by everyone except the assessor that we elected to manage it. Meanwhile, he has publicly stated he spends his time down the road at his personal assessment business. He has admitted that he has not regularly come to the township office in years, while continuing to collect a taxpayer-funded salary and benefits. This is not a one-time issue. This is a pattern of clear, gross mismanagement. Now, many of us remember the excuses. It takes 5 years of training. Other offices weren't following the law. And I think we all remember Stampgate, where instead of using a bulk mailing house, employees were hand stamping thousands of pieces of mail with 75-cent stamps. And now, for his first serious political opponent in 48 years, we have seen a pattern of manufactured distractions, claims of harassments, threats of lawsuits, threats involving the state's attorney, and more. Nothing came to fruition. Everything was speculation, and all of it was proven false. Now, after 48 years in office, the assessor has refused to keep the office open and perform the duties that he was elected to perform. He was making over $60,000 in salary just last month with full benefits, and now he's making $55,000 and still is eligible for full retirement. As taxpayers, we deserve an assessor who shows up, an assessor who runs the office
30 seconds.
and serves the public and at least answers questions to the residents. This board has remained professional, transparent, and focused on the taxpayers, despite the constant harassment by some in the public. What has inflamed this situation is a hyper-partisan former trustee with a personal vendetta against the supervisor and anyone who supports him. I ask the public tonight, please don't fall for the division. Please speak up against hate and demand accountability, even from former trustees. And thank this board for doing the job that they were elected to do. Thank you.
My name's Lisa
You
Champoli.
can move that down if you need to. There you go.
My name's Lisa Champoli. I'm from Collinsville.
Get closer, please.
At 1500 North Bluff. I just want to, can you hear me? Okay.
Move the microphone closer to your mouth. Turn the mic up.
Go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead. You're fine.
Okay, I'll try and speak louder. I'm pretty good at that.
Now we can hear you.
Anyway, I have no personal anything against Mr. Paletti. Actually, I've been up to the office several times. The office staff has been wonderful. I just want to let the board know my views. I would hope, I hear the office is closed. I hope that Mr. Paletti could open the office, hopefully 3 days a week, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 12, Tuesday, Thursday, 12 to 4:30, so that the taxpayers can get their work done. If the township could use the shuttle to take seniors or anyone else that doesn't have a ride up to the county to get their assessments and anything they need done. I would hope that Mr. Paletti could open the office and serve the taxpayers as he was elected to do. And if he does not, I would ask the board to then look into if for 1 or 2 months the office has not been opened, then possibly we could close the office or go to a satellite and send it all up to the county. And then hopefully the shuttle could then take seniors or anyone that doesn't have transportation to the county, would be my suggestion. I hope the board has contacted the state's attorney or looked into legal issues that things are resolved due to neglect of duty, malfeasance, violation of the oath of office. I'm very sorry for the employees. I would hope that maybe we could do something for them if they've been laid off, that we could do a GoFundMe page or something to help take care of them. I think that's very important since they're laid off right now. Mainly, I'm just hoping that the board can help resolve this. I know you can't force anyone to do anything, but again, as a citizen, he was elected to do a job. If we cannot get the office open, then whatever legal or whatever you all have to do to get it done, or then if it's go on for 2 to 3 months, there's no reason to have the office if we can still function and maintain it, and then we can save the taxpayers even more. I know if the quad has to be done, that the county can do it, but I do believe that we would have to pay them to assess our properties. And maybe that would save us money or not, I'm not sure what that takes. But those are my suggestions. I'm always willing to, instead of just complaining, throw out a suggestion on how to solve the problem and give suggestions, and hopefully we can resolve this matter as soon as possible, because it is not fair to the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Ray, and I hate the sound of my voice amplified, so I'll speak loud enough, right? Perfect. Anyway, I've debated back and forth on whether or not I should come tonight to tonight's meeting, speak at tonight's meeting, and every voice inside my mind was resounding. Absolutely not. It's not going to make a difference. But against better judgment, I'm here anyway. I want to let you all know that I'm not here to point fingers at anyone or place blame on anybody individually. In my honest opinion, I think both supervisor and assessor are both not to be held harmless in the situation that we have in front of us. But everybody at this table does have a choice on where we go from here. A lot of this pain has been self-inflicted. A lot of it started years ago. Some of you all have failed to act like adults and have chosen to let ego get in your way. A mockery has been made of our community. Case in point, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elliot Davis is here. That's embarrassing.
Can you move the mic over?
No.
Can you move the mic over?
No, this is beyond embarrassing and it needs to stop. The primary purpose for me speaking up tonight.
Just so you know, you're supposed to be addressing the board.
I am.
No, you're not, because you're calling out members of the audience.
Okay.
That's in the bylaws.
My time.
That is in the
My time.
bylaws, and I will, listen,
I'm
I'm
just
not gonna
making
put
a
up with
statement.
stuff. You can make a statement, but you make it to the board, not to the audience.
All right, we've got Elliot Davis here.
Hey Jason, where are you from?
Collinsville.
Thank you.
My primary purpose for speaking up is in hopes that you may pause to reflect and think for yourself with a reminder to be careful in who you seek counsel. I encourage you to seek mentors with proven character, wisdom, and experience. Be wary of counsel that possess selfish, short-sighted, and misguided desires. What I see unfolding right now is similar to something that happened within our community to another entity. Some time ago, it was crippled, dismantled, and killed. Fortunately, it was resurrected by the city of Collinsville. The result of these efforts, for lack of a better term, a shell game, smoke and mirrors. Many assets were given away or sold for pennies on the dollar. What was left remained in shambles. Employee morale was low, and the people in our community suffered the consequences for years. The debt still exists. Taxpayer money was spent for reorganization, repairs, and continued upkeep. Was anything truly saved? I'm not sure. There's a generation of young parents, children, and grandparents who missed out on a short but very important part of their life. What's happening now is not fun and games. I'm not going to stand here to pretend I understand even a fraction of the important services and skill set required to provide them here at the township office. Consequences of what is happening will remain unknown. There are at least 5 highly skilled people who have lost their jobs. Our senior citizens and residents are at risk of losing a valuable resource. I've asked myself, will this have an impact on our residential and commercial real estate market? More importantly, will there be an impact on future and commercial development? I'm not qualified to answer that. Will stripping the assessor's office and moving it to a county level yield a similar result? I'm not looking for a response. Time will tell. What happens next? Where does it stop? What's the fate of general assistance, emergency assistance, benefit access, LIHEAP, beloved senior center, and our amazing road and bridge department? There will be lots of important decisions tonight in the coming months and years. I'd like to share a quick story my father shared with me years ago. It's called Builder or Wrecker. Excuse me. As I watched them tear a building down, a gang of young men in a busy town with a ho-he-ho and a lusty yell, they swung a beam and the sidewall fell. I asked the foreman, are these men skilled? Are they the men you'd hire if you wanted to build? He gave a laugh and said, no indeed, just common labor is all I need. I can easily wreck in a day or two what takes builders years to do. I thought to myself as I went on my way, which of these roles have I tried to play? Am I a builder who works with care, measuring life by rule and square? Am I shaping the world, my work to a well-made plan, patiently doing the best I can? Or am I a wrecker who walks the town, excuse me, content with the labor of tearing down? As elected officials, are you builders or wreckers? That's all I got.
Hello, this is Samir Musalam from Collinsville, and just ask a couple questions to the board here and hope they can be addressed at some point. I know we talk about Edwardsville is kind of the comparison here, similar parcels, but the question is, are they assessing the same number of parcels that we are in Collinsville when it's required, or are they behind there? I also looked up, we've seen Edwardsville's property taxes increase quite rapidly. Even the last year was about a 9% increase. So are we gonna see something similar if we try to follow their lead? As part of Edwardsville's best practices, since it sounds like they're able to do their assessment at about a third of what Collinsville budget is, have they shared any best practices with us? Have they shared ways that they're able to do their job successfully with the budget that they have? Those are things that I have not heard yet at this point. All I've heard is they have a similar number of parcels, but we don't actually talk about the job they're actually doing. Does the community actually appreciate the job that they're doing? And then as we come to the next kind of point, I'm wondering about the censure of our assessor. How does that benefit our community? What's the purpose of that? Like others have said, I think there's a way to find a solution here and would like to see that. Again, the censure piece, unsure how that helps Collinsville at large or Collinsville Township. But thank you.
Thank you.
Katarina Engel, Collinsville. And before I begin, I would just encourage that the board here informs everyone to watch previous meeting recordings if you're wondering what's going on with the assessor's office, because a lot of this has already been addressed. And it's not staying. Okay. Dear Township Board and fellow neighbors, we must confront harmful beliefs and tactics being used in our community adopted by the board, including extremism, propaganda, and the marginalization of critics. These approaches deepen division and undermine honest dialogue. They are seen to the national stage and locally, and they do not have a place in public engagement. Accountability matters. Supporting or enabling harmful actions carries responsibility, even indirectly. Claiming certain values while defending contradictory behavior does not remove complicity. If we want progress, we must examine the beliefs, language, and actions that erode trust and weaken our community. Let's unpack more of the false ideology and tactics being lobbied at us nationally and locally. Patriotism once meant commitment to democracy, the Constitution, equal justice, and accountable government. Today, it is too often used to demand loyalty and silent dissent. True patriotism does not excuse corruption or attacks on democratic norms, civil rights, or the rule of law. When leaders manipulate fear and demonize critics, it weakens public trust and teaches that power matters more than principle. Instead of transparency and accountability, critics are sometimes discredited or dismissed rather than heard. Dividing the public distracts from real questions about budgets, priorities, and governance. Intimidation is not leadership, and smearing critics avoids engaging their arguments. Beyond the weaponization of patriotism, we should also reject the unsupported claim that white Christians face systematic discrimination in the United States. White Christians remain the largest religious group in positions of political power, judicial authority, corporate leadership, and cultural influence. They are not denied the right to vote, to worship, to run for office, or to speak freely. Disagreement, criticism, or social consequences are not discrimination. They are part of living in a pluralistic society. Freedom of speech protects against government punishment, not public scrutiny. When policies or rhetoric cause harm, the public has the right and responsibility to question them. We also deserve honesty about the tactics being used against us. Right-wing extremism relies on well-documented psychological and propaganda tools that are fundamentally opposed to the public good. Scapegoating blames social problems on marginalized groups instead of addressing systemic failures. Fear amplification exaggerates threats to justify authoritarian processes. False victimhood claims oppression while holding disproportionate power. Information flooding overwhelms the public with half-truths to exhaust critical thinking. An enemy construction labels dissenters as dangerous to avoid accountability. These tools do not strengthen communities, they fracture them. They replace shared reality with suspicion and replace problem solving with outrage. Thank you.
Rachel Dye, Collinsville. This is a continuance of Kate's statement. So all that brings me to a direct request. I'm asking each board member, aside from the township supervisor, because he has shared, to publicly account for the evidence you personally reviewed in making
Speak into
board.
the microphone.
Hey,
I'll start over. So this was a continuation of Kate's statement, thank you. So direct request, I'm asking each board member, aside from the township supervisor, to publicly account for the evidence you personally reviewed in making your decisions. Not summaries or secondhand information, but what you independently verified and researched, specifically regarding the decision to cut the assessor's office budget based on it being over budgeted. What data did you examine? What assumptions were tested? What are the defined job responsibility and who performs what? How did you weigh public evidence indicating the office was among the busiest in the area and performing effectively? If the sole justification for the cut was over budgeting, which is why you cut the budget, then provide objective, verifiable evidence if this was the case. Comparisons to neighboring townships with different parcel types and workloads, particularly when they have stated they cannot absorb our assessor's responsibilities, are not sufficient. Please present clear, substantive evidence to the public. I also encourage you to look up what goes into factor determination or parcel determination and how parcels are weighed. Because just saying it's the same number doesn't hold water. Let's remember, accountability is not an attack. Transparency is not hostility. These are the foundations of public trust. Patriotism does not mean obedience, it means stewardship. It means caring enough about this country and this community to demand better from those in power and from ourselves. Democracy survives not because people agree, because they are allowed and encouraged to question. And that is what we are doing here today. I am ready to agree when a logical, holistic, and evidence-based approach, including all mitigating factors, has been undertaken by the Township Board. However, there's very little to suggest this truly ever happened. The preponderance of the evidence is the totality of all parts, of all evidence and factors combined is appropriate to provide your constituents with all the evidence you weighed and how you came to your conclusions. I request that the board ask the public to ask questions, expect clear answers, and pay close attention to both the responses or lack thereof. Notice attempts to deflect criticism by labeling concerned residents as a threat or by attacking those who ask reasonable questions. These tactics distract from substantive issues and policy decisions. Regardless of party or position, you deserve transparency and accountability to the public. Also pay attention to information shared that is only partial and does not address the holistic nature of the problem, which happens a lot. To the board members, I ask you hold one another accountable, even if it's uncomfortable or means reconsidering a prior position. Your legacy will be defined by the integrity of your words, actions, and decisions. Truly, it's the only thing you will have left when the rest of it fades away. To close, I'd like to quote Thomas Paine, one of our few founding fathers who didn't own a slave. Paine once wrote, "To argue with a man who has renounced the use and authority of reason, and whose philosophy consists in holding humanity in contempt, is like administering medicine to the dead." In other words, when truth and reason no longer matter, and individuals take the route of creating enemies of the public, we have lost the plot. We lose our humanity. The only way to regain a positive course and create a society that values all is to stand up and be counted, to use your voice, even when those enacting hurtful policies want to lie, threaten, or harass you. Collectively, may we never cease to demand what we all deserve as constituents and taxpayers, but more so as living, breathing human beings. Do not let hate or distraction block your view of what is happening. Do not let political loyalties, fear, and defensiveness cause you to be unable to recognize harmful ideologies and practices because they hurt all of us. Call out the egos that persist and lead to nothing but drama, indecency, and decay. Remember that to question abuses of power or hurtful, unwise, or ill-informed decisions and behavior is not attacking someone's personhood. If they can convince you otherwise, you will choose group solidarity and personal relationships over what is best practice and policy. Allow yourself to be free, be seen, and be heard. We cannot have a brighter future without facing these hard truths. We, the people, owe this to democracy, ourselves, and our neighbors. Thank you, Rachel Dye and Katrina Engel.
Hi, I'm Lee Wath. I'm here from Collinsville. What a great night! What an exciting night! You know, I'm not sure that I can determine what we're here for yet. We've talked about a lot of stuff, and I thought I was here for kind of a simple issue. You have a budget. It's your job to manage it, and you don't. And then when you don't, people get mad. People get laid off. Bad things happen, and I could see why there's always going to be attempts to deflect that just issue, right? That's the issue. The issue is, we had a budget, it was cut like everybody else's budget, but instead of dealing with the outcome of that or the things that were gonna happen because of that, then you ignore it. Here you are 9, 10 months later, and people are mad because there's no money. But that was foreseeable. As the person who would have been in that office, if you had elected them to run the office, you would have assumed that they knew they had a smaller budget, they knew they were gonna run out of money, and they'd have done something about it, even if it was show up for a meeting and negotiate with the board. Sorry, I'm not
He
calling
is.
anybody's
He's-
name out there, I wanna be on the camera.
Hey,
Be on the camera,
hey,
that's all.
just,
You're on this one.
yeah.
So for me, it's kind of, by the way, congratulations for having the guts to stand up and take this heat every meeting. And congratulations on doing something about the abuse of that budgeting process. And I'm not mad at you guys. Here's what, and girls, ladies, I'm mad because there's no assessor at the assessor's office. I'm mad because whoever it is that's getting paid to be there isn't there. I'm mad because they decided they wanted to be this position to be a part-time gig they could do when and if they wanted to. I don't know that we elected anybody thinking this was gonna be a part-time gig that they showed up to an hour a week. So if you're mad, be mad at the folks who created the problem. That's my mindset, right? And you ask, well, how do we fix it? Well, you fix it by not electing the same person to do the same thing again. That would be one way you fix it. And I don't know how you fix it between now and the end of this year and the money's back. I don't know how you fix it, right? But you know whose problem that is, it seems to me? The assessors. The assessor has an obligation to do his job. Happens to be a guy. Well, how come we don't call him in and have a little meeting and ask him how he's gonna do his job? It's not the senior citizen center's job to use the money in their budget to haul people to anywhere else to take care of the assessors malfeasance. That's not their job in my mind, right? It's the assessor's job. So I'm excited that you stood up for taxpayers. I'm excited that you cut your budget. I'm excited to see you give everybody a chance to talk. And I'm excited people can say whatever they want. You let them do it. But I would like to see us deal with the issue at hand, not with every other issue in the world, but the issue at hand. I really would like to know what the assessor is going to do. When's he going to open up the office? When is he going to be there? And I don't know that it's such a great idea to say it's okay for him to be there 5 minutes a day. He can be there from 12 to 12:05. We didn't elect him for that. We didn't elect the office to be shut down. We didn't elect him to have a part-time office. We elected that office to be staffed. We deserve that. We're still paying money. It's still coming out of our taxes for that office to be ran. He should be running it. And if he doesn't have the money to do it with 6 people, then by golly, he's still getting paid. He should have his butt down there earning the money that we're paying him. And thank you so much.
All right, hey, sir. Hey, all right. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, I'm Paul McLucy. I'm a Collinsville Maryville County Board Rep for District 23. All 7 of my precincts cover places within the township. So today I'm going to be talking about various topics. First one I'm going to talk about is Elliot Davis's coverage of the issue we're here about today. I was surprised when I saw it. You know, like everybody else, I've been following the current lawsuits by Mr. Paletti to the township. I saw on social media that the usual keyboard pugilists were touting these lawsuits as the current political weapon of choice to undermine Supervisor Cox. These lawsuits failed. They didn't hold up in court. Just as your bylaws say, the supervisor makes the budget. Supervisor and the board, they make a budget. It's Mr. Paletti's job to execute it. Then I also noticed that there was a note on the door telling people to go call the county assessor with questions. That basically the assessor's office was closed. Okay, the county will not be doing assessments for Collinsville. They're not contracted to. Mr. Paletti and his employees are contracted and they are paid by the Collinsville Township. The county will not do this. There's been no discussion of it in the county. It's also my understanding that Mr. Paletti gets $55,000 a year plus a benefit package. Why Mr. Paletti, who's still getting paid, wants someone else to do his job is beyond me. would also be on me why he's not coming to work. And I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. Heard all kinds of rumors. He never comes. He comes a couple hours a week. He hasn't been in years. I think he owes the public an explanation. How often does he think he has to come to work to earn this salary? I mean, that's good money. A lot of people would appreciate that money, that benefit package. Okay, various offices have been brought into some of these silly political games in the county, including the state's attorneys and the assessors. Just need to stop, guys. You guys all, the township needs to work together. Everybody needs to handle it, and pretty much how it goes. People thinking they can litigate instead of negotiate policy and budgets and certain things. It just doesn't work, guys. We saw that take place, and usually stuff gets grinding in court for a long time and never gets settled. I'm surprised this got settled as quick as it did. Now we have the results of the lawsuit. So guys, let's all try to work together, and you can take this for what it's worth. I'll sit down with the parties involved. I worked on a lot bigger budgets than this. So maybe we can all talk, maybe we can come to some agreement. I think as he gets a new budget in April, I could be wrong, so maybe we can try to work this out, have the best thing. And I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but we need to do the best things for the taxpayers. I mean, elected official, their most important job is to take care of the taxpayers, be a good steward of people's money. That's why a lot of people send you here, guys. So that's all you got to say about that. And if anybody wants to talk to me, I'm over there. I'm easy to talk to. All right, guys. Thank you.
Everybody hear me okay? All right. My name is Andy Fox. I have been an employee of the Collinsville Township Assessor's Office since April 3rd, 2006. I am currently laid off. The duties of my job were to do assessments, reassessments, field work, exemptions, board of review appeals, variances, new subdivisions, variances for the city of Collinsville. New subdivisions, measure new commercial and residential properties, process fire reports, and correct assessments based on those fire reports, any kind of loss or damage with the fire of any property. Since I'm now laid off, just found out I can't receive unemployment. So for the benefit of the public record, Illinois law is clear the township is considered a public employer and must participate in the state's unemployment insurance system under the Illinois Unemployment Insurance Act, specifically 820 ILCS 405-211 and 820 ILCS 405-1400. Units of local government, including townships, are required to report wages and either contribute to or reimburse the Illinois Department of Employment Security, IDES, for unemployment benefits paid to eligible employees. Under the Illinois Township Code 60 ILCS 1 70-15 and 60 ILCS 1 70-20, the township supervisor serves as the township's chief executive officer, chief financial officer, and township treasurer. In that capacity, the supervisor is responsible for receiving and dispersing township funds, keeping financial accounts, and ensuring that financial obligations required by law are properly carried out. Taken together, these statutes mean that while the township itself is the legal employer responsible for the unemployment insurance, the township supervisor is the official charged with ensuring compliance. This includes overseeing quarterly wage reports to IDES, authorizing unemployment reimbursement payments, maintaining accurate financial records, and ensuring the township fulfills its statutory financial duties. It is also important to clarify that this responsibility is administrative and institutional when carried out in good faith within official duties. The supervisor does not personally contribute to unemployment insurance and generally acts solely on behalf of the township as the governmental employer. However, Illinois law also establishes consequences for failure to comply with unemployment insurance requirements. These may include, number one, personal liability for responsible officers or officials who willfully fail to make required UI payments or knowingly fail to submit required reports and information. Number 2, increased employer unemployment tax rates resulting from non-compliance or unpaid obligations. Number 3, statutory penalties, late filing fees, and interest charges for late wage reports or overdue payments. Number 4, possible audits or inspections conducted by an IDES field auditor to review payroll records and compliance practices. Given these clear statutory requirements and potential consequences, I would like to formally ask Supervisor Cox to explain why wages for employees of the Assessor's Office are not properly being reported and contributed to for unemployment insurance purposes. I ask this because I have received multiple official letters from the Illinois Department of Employment Security stating that my estimated wage benefit amount is 0, which indicates that no wages have been reported on my behalf. For the sake of transparency, compliance with Illinois law, and the protection of township employees, I respectfully request a clear, public explanation as to why this is occurring and what corrective action will be taken. Based on the statutory duties outlined, responsibility for ensuring compliance ultimately rests with Supervisor Cox, regardless of whether administrative tasks may have been delegated. Blame should not be shifted to office staff, prior boards, or elected officials. I also wanted to say I got a phone call from the office manager, Don, today. He received a letter from the IDES. It's a questionnaire for employee duties. Like to know if Supervisor Cox received that letter from Don. And also Don said he's gonna have to give it to the assessor because him and the supervisor don't know what my duties are. I've been there for 20 years. It's clear and simple what the duties of assessing are. That goes straight into Trustee Sewell. We don't assess light switches. We don't assess ring doorbells. You can go to the Illinois Department of Revenue and look at the standards. And also, Trustee Crowell, I've been sent your comment on Facebook accusing me of doing drugs. It has been reported. Yes, ma'am, I've got a copy of it. Also a copy of you editing the comment. It has been reported to Illinois Department of Human Rights. A claim has been made. Thank you.
That's good, and I have a very clear answer for you, Ms. Fox.
My name is Robert Milam. Y'all hear me? Yeah. I just take this in a little bit different direction. I know we're all here to hear about the assessor's office, but I'm glad Mr. Davis is here. I'd like to know why, when I get on Facebook, which I know we all probably on Facebook, we've all seen this drama play out. There is our township supervisor at the city hall harassing a city employee, and why are you at City Hall on my dime? It's my time. It's taxpayers' dime. Are you there on your personal business, or was you there on township business? That's all I got. Thank you.
Anybody else? Going once, twice. All right. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is response to public comment. I wrote a lot of notes. I can try to start, and then if you guys want to fill in. But I would like to start with the unemployment claim that is absolutely not true. And let me give you a little backstory on this. Oh, hey, I was respectful. Come on. All right. So, to get to the bottom of this, first of all, so people can kind of understand, because I wanted to understand that governments don't pay taxes. Government bodies collect taxes. Okay, so when they pay into the employees, there's actually two different options for governments. You can actually pay the unemployment tax, or if you lay off somebody, then you can elect to pay that unemployment then for governments. Our office manager, Don, is here, And if you could just come up, just so you can verify everything that I'm saying, okay? And he doesn't like to be in the spotlight and stuff, but I'm sorry, Don, this is part of the job. So this happened so what happened in 2017 is the Collinsville Township elected, they thought it was cheaper for the taxpayers to go the route of just paying the unemployment at the time if somebody was laid off. We've never really laid off anyone, okay? And so when this occurred, Ms. Fox is correct that we had not been paying that tax because we don't have to pay that tax. So when we looked into it, it's all been figured out exactly. Let's see, and I did receive the letter. And just to make it clear, since 2023, since Don has started, and since I've been in office, we did change it, okay? So we changed it. And so 2 employees are already in the system, okay? And the other ones before 2017 are not in the system. So they said, hey, very easy, you can fix this. And as of Friday, all of them actually possibly even tomorrow, can file. We don't even get our checks. Everybody doesn't get it's assessors and the electeds, everything. We don't even get our checks until Friday. So nobody will be missing anything. Okay, they can file, it's all in the system. So Don, am I correct? And I tried to simplify it.
Yes, sir, you are. I want to comment about the letter.
Correct.
I contacted Andy because that letter was from the unemployment office and it addressed her and Pete. There were some questions on there that I was not sure about. It was more than just you do assessments. There were some things that I didn't want to say without, I have those letters ready to give to Pete in the morning. They came in late this afternoon and I made copies of them and I'll give you a copy.
Correct. And the only reason that I ever said that is because I am not, and this is a misnomer that is put out there. This board here and myself, I get the heat and that's fine. I am not the employer. Mr. Paletti is the employer. So when you have an issue, you contact your employer. You don't contact the board that doesn't have it. So we fixed it, and I know, Don, you went above and beyond to make sure, because I know some employees didn't have their paycheck stubs, things like that. He did some things that he didn't even have to do. He found their paycheck stubs, printed them out for them, things like that. So everything is in the system. It's all good to go. There's nothing here. And this, and Don, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, and it's kind of short, but I was assured today by the IDES, the representative there. Her last words to me was, "I assure you that all wages are reported."
Okay.
All right. So I'm very hopeful. I mean, I'm pretty proud that we were able to cover that in that short time. But I'm so sorry that Andy had to go through that to think that maybe you wouldn't get unemployment. That had to be a double hit.
Well,
but it's there for him.
I understand. Thank you, Don.
What was that?
It's other employees, it's not just.
Listen, hey.
Right, and I mean that for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, we're all good, but it shall be mentioned, because I did bring this up last time. This board and me personally received a grievance from the same person, and that's what caused a lot of the problems.
I'm supposed to read your email, Derek.
What?
How else am I supposed to?
So hold on.
Keep going.
Hold on. So the grievance? I mean, but it was false. It was a false grievance. Okay, gotcha. So anyway, okay, gotcha. So anyway, I got some untrue things said to me and was put out there that is not true. Moving forward, answering some more of the questions. You done with me, boss? Yes, thank you. So, answering all the questions. I'm kind of working backwards up towards the beginning, okay? I think it was mentioned that I believe it, Mr. Nicolucci, can we all work together? I just want to say, when Mr. Paletti came in tonight, I said, I opened the door for him. It was just him and I said, I would like to get things accomplished and fixed tonight, Pete. And he says, no, you don't. And I says, okay, but I'm just telling you, just like I did back then. I want to work with you. I want to figure this out for the taxpayers. Then he came in, and I guess he's left. So I'll try. Is he here? Oh, great. Perfect. I can't see back there. Okay. Providing evidence at this budget assessor was on. Okay. So somebody asked to provide evidence that the board, including all the board members, provide evidence that we did our due diligence at the budget hearing back in June. Okay? I believe most everybody out there this is exactly what the board got back in June, describing each township, how many parcels, how many full-time employees they had, and what their budget was the year before. This is exactly what the board reviewed back in last June. This is the same meeting that the assessor chose not to come, not to tell us and the board why he would even want more money. Okay? It is the law. The judge has already ruled on this twice. It is very clear. The board sets the budget, not the elected, if it's the roads department or the assessor or myself. And thank God, because just imagine, every municipality, you could have a leader saying, well, I'm just going to spend whatever amount of money I want to spend. That's not how our government works. There's a board, there is a process, and if he wanted more money, he could have came and said, hey, I would like this amount, and because of this. Instead, he chose not to even show up and just says, I'm going to sue you. And that's what happened. But on this sheet, it shows. To another question, yes, Edwardsville has 16,417 parcels. They had 2 full-time employees. We have 16,745 parcels to assess. We have 7 employees. Their budget was 184. Ours was 508. Okay? So we made the budget 383, and that was the exact same number that we levied in the previous board. Okay? The previous board we levied 383, the exact same amount. I'll ask anybody, do you spend more than you have coming in? If you do, you're not very good with your finances and you're going to have problems. We cannot spend more than we have coming in. Mr. Paletti has known about this. We have had discussions and disagreements for many years. I had lunch with him right when I got into this office. I said, Mr. Paletti, Pete, can you help give me a little bit? Give me a little bit here, because this is what I ran on. All right? And he says, yes. And he went down to 5 employees. That lasted for 1 year. And then it rocketed back up to 7 employees. Now we have 6. Okay, because one has moved to another township in the last couple of months. But if he would have made simple adjustments, all this would have been avoided. One salary, really, he would have got to April. One salary, and it was mentioned about the employee. Edwardsville high taxes. Okay, Bess, why does Edwardsville, their taxes, they're about 8 to 9% in 1 year? Well, I'm not going to try to complicate things, but on your tax bill, there is, my father hates when I say this, about the multiplier, and I'm not going to try to explain it. But that is the fair and accurate, it's not by opinion, it is the state. The state looks at all assessments and looks at the price of the houses sold, and then determines how accurate those assessments were, and then creates a multiplier. In the last 15 years, Edwardsville was better than us. I believe it was 9 years. Okay, so they're doing about the same job as we are. Let's just say with their multiplier, because that affects everybody, even seniors. Whatever your multiplier is, I don't care if your house was assessed or not. That's what you're going to be paying, the increase. So if you see a 9% multiplier, you're going to be paying 9% more on the value of your house. Correct. And every year it goes up 9%, 10%, 8%. That adds up real quick, and that's why your property tax bills have done what they've done. it was mentioned about the builders. Are we builders or are we destroyers? I say that we're builders because we cannot continue to pay higher property taxes. You guys know this. People are leaving the state. And we've got to do something because you can't afford it. And our property values are suffering because of it. This is not personal. This is trying to get our property taxes in order. And you could say, well, that's just one little government entity. Yes, every government needs to do this. Every single one of them. And I'll have this in my little speech here in a little bit. That's not very long. But my point is that I'm thankful for this board. It is not easy to do the right thing. When you get into elected office, there is the easy thing, and then there's the right thing. All right? A lot of times, people just choose the easy way because they don't want meetings like this. They would rather just be a 15-minute meeting and just move on. Okay? We're not trying to move it up to the county. That has been mentioned before as well. I have never had a direct conversation with the chief county assessor about anything like that happening, ever. That has been out there for all these years because they don't have the staff. Maybe they could use some of ours. I don't know. But that has not been even spoken about. By the way, St. Clair County does it all. This is not something like that, oh my gosh, the world's going to end if the county did the assessing. They do half of the county already. And St. Clair County does it all. So we are the ones that are a little bit odd, that we have a township assessor and that is charging 3 times more than other places. We're fighting for you guys. And lastly, you don't have to go up, you don't have to drive to the county, okay? You don't have to do it. You can simply put it in the mail. If you have a senior freeze, if you're low income senior freeze, if you're just a senior, not low income, you don't even have to do it anymore. If you're low income senior freeze, a disabled veteran, or any of the other exemptions, you can simply print off the form on our website and mail it in to the county. That is it. What I'm asking and what we're all asking is I put a sign-up sheet out by his door because he's not there. People to sign in. I'm personally calling these people back trying to answer their questions. I'm doing the job of the assessor. But my point is, it's always about the exemptions. And I said, well, here's the address, you can mail it in, but if you have any questions, I don't feel comfortable answering those because I'm not an assessor. You know, but you can call up the assessor in Edwardsville, and I'm sure that they can help you, you know. But it is also the chief county assessor to say, hey, this job not being done down here in Collinsville. Something needs to be done. And that's what I would say to the county. If they don't like having calls come in or work that they're not getting paid for, well, then they need to come out and say, hey, Collinsville, because if you Google, if you say what townships or what counties or anything like that is not compliant with assessing, you can do it right now, and it will say Collinsville Township is not compliant right now. I did it right before I came because Pete Paletti is not in the office. That's what it said. I was like, oh my gosh, try it. Anyway, sure, go ahead.
Well, as far as addressing Rachel Dye's question, I went to the county office for the assessor, and I talked to the county assessor, and I also talked to the chief executive, I think, whatever Phil Taylor's title is, and we talked about everything going on down here, and that's where I came to my conclusions. I did the research.
What about the Madison County?
Quick, Rachel, this last time the questions are over.
Okay, that's fine. The Madison County assessor from Madison County said this was the busiest and most productive office.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I will add something. I keep hearing all these comments about how we're trying to eliminate the Collinsville Township assessor's position. When probably we ran in 2021, over the summer of 2020, people were asking me if we could get rid of the township assessor's office. And I looked into it and I found out that you have to be a smaller population than us to turn those duties over to the county. So it's never gonna happen. Whoever keeps circulating that story can stop, because the state law prevents it, okay? Can we end that discussion?
Anybody want to answer any other?
Yeah, I got a couple.
All right, go ahead.
So, first off, Jeff, this is a nonpartisan position up here, and for you to sit here and call two of us Republicans and two of us Democrats, obviously you haven't done your homework, okay? This is a nonpartisan position. There are no declared Democrats, there are no declared Republicans, and for somebody to sit up here and declare that we are, you haven't done your homework. To Rachel, the core of your question, I probably don't need to answer because I didn't vote for the cut for the assessor's office. I was against the arbitrary cut. I had previously met with Pete and his team and did ride-alongs and learned their process in my first term. And I thought that there was better ways to create some more efficiencies than to essentially destroy what relationship, if any, was between the supervisor and the assessor. So that's why if you would go back and look, you'd see my vote against what I considered an arbitrary cut. That's all I have for now.
Sure.
I just wanted to address a couple,
Better put it close.
yep, put it close. I wanted to address Rachel. Rachel, it is, and I appreciate your thorough, I appreciate you, Rachel. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you encourage us to do due diligence and stay on our toes. It is up to the assessor's office to share with us information if they choose. So I do want to squelch some things, and I want to do a little bit of a backstory. Please be patient and bear with me. 5 years ago, I was asked to run for this position, and it was said by taxpayers that they were concerned. Personal people came to me witnessing in the township, what they were witnessing in the township meetings. Now we're talking 5 or 6 years ago, when Derek was a trustee and other people ran this board. I declined, but I continued to attend meetings. I observed from a distance, as the room was so small, you could barely get anybody interested into the room. Then I met Derek after being invited to a rally to elect him for supervisor. So understand, no, Derek didn't find me under a bush somewhere and say, hey, do you want to run with me and be my whatever I'm called constantly. So I began to go to the senior center and look around and see how things were going. There were seniors that came to me and had hoped for this to be a better location, invited me to dinner or to lunches, etc. I watched Derek over the years, and I watched him with a new board, and it was very impressive, what was happening and what was going on. So I was asked to run again, not by Derek and this board, but by taxpayers. And they said that they asked if I would run. I had prior government experience where I used to live. So I did so. In the process, I was hit with rumors that, again, Derek found me somewhere under a bush, pulled me out of somewhere. Who was I? Who is she? She is here to boost everything Derek has. She's gonna, go along with everything. So I went to the assessor's window from where I heard the rumors coming from, and I asked to speak with Andy Fox. I stuck my hand out and said, Andy, I just wanted to meet you personally. I wanted to offer an introduction and assure you that I am not Derek's buddy, friend, or here to side with him. I have my own thoughts, my own mind, and it is insulting. And I just said I would like to introduce myself. I was elected. I asked the assessor's office if I might do the ride-along that Clint was given privilege to. No answer. I was constantly attacked, saying again that I was here just to support Derek. I didn't have a mind of my own. So I went out myself and asked several questions of different assessors. And this is what they said. We had a list of things that they were giving us, just like this in the beginning. When I was elected, I said to Pete, we asked Pete, he insisted on the $508,924. We showed him the comparisons from Edwardsville, and we asked him to please explain this to us, of which there was no answer. This was the time that he should have talked to us and explained why he insisted on $124,953 more than what it would, I mean, even more than that. It was double that. But we chose to give him $383,971 because Edwardsville was doing it for much less, for only a couple hundred less parcels. Still no answer. Excuse me a minute. No answer, no guidance, of which we had to go out and ask other assessors' offices. So today I contacted a retired assessor and I said, Mr. Paletti is constantly telling us about how compliant he is. When he asked for his budget, he did not give us a reason why he expected this kind of budget. He just said he wanted it. Then he keeps saying he's compliant. The law that was found that she shared with me was in regard to favoritism of employees. He's compliant. He doesn't favor employees. He doesn't hire them because they're friends of friends. He doesn't hire them because they're relatives. Great, okay? The next question that was asked is that I went out and I said, how many townships in Madison County are compliant? And what came up was only one was not compliant, and that's Collinsville, because he closed his office. That's exactly, you can search it yourself.
Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, what a surprise.
So,
Who put the lock on it?
You'll have enough time to, the trustees.
okay, so, yeah, but anyway, back to, I'll address that with Andy.
Okay.
I do need to address that.
Okay. So let's move on then. So we did our responses. Now we're old business, new business. Approval of the resolution to publicly censure Assessor Pete Paletti. Here's what I would like to do. If Pete is still here, I still can't see him from where I'm at. I would like Pete to come up and maybe answer some questions. Let's figure this out.
One thing that was put in online, I want to straighten this up tonight.
Sure, you're absolutely, Pete.
It was put online, I won't say by who, that I have cut my own property way down in value. It's only $200,000, and look at all the land he has. That's true. It is $200,000. The house has been in the family since 1922. I live in that house. My grandfather built that house, and he built the barn. Did that give you a clue about something? So yes, it sits on a, quote, lot, which is kind of surprising, actually, because that's probably one of the bigger lots in the state of Illinois. 20 acres. That's key, too. The house is assessed the way it's supposed to be. I don't ever assess my own house. I let my staff do it, and I don't even look at it. It's the same thing with other stuff I own. Now, why is the land so low? Well, guess what? That land is considered farmland. And it's been farmed since the day my grandfather bought it, and it's still farmed today. And I own additional land. Anybody can get a farmland assessment on your land if it's being farmed. And every year, we take off a couple rounds of hay off of that land. And I own some other land that's farmed. So yes, that house is assessed properly. I don't cheat on my taxes for anybody.
I just want to make it clear because there's always seems to be this division between us that it was not from me, just to be clear. I don't know who it's from. I'm just saying that, I just want people to know. So my question is, the last time we saw you was, you didn't come to the budget meeting, it was about this time last year. And you said.
My lawyer told me not to.
That's fine, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And first of all, I would like to say this, did I say exactly what happened?
Yes, you're actually, you told the truth for once.
Oh, okay. So, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is, at the last meeting that you were here, you claimed that you had not been here at work. You don't come to work because you didn't have a desk. That's what's on the recording.
That doesn't mean I don't work.
Okay, I'm just saying that. You don't come to the office.
Let's clarify that right now.
My point is this, now, there is no excuse, there's a desk. So why are you not coming in and working the time that is on the schedule for the assessor's office to be open?
I'm working as a part-time job. It always has been. Now, I've been in that office every day since this was the layoff. I've been there every morning.
Okay, so my
From
question.
8:30 to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I didn't make it last Friday.
Right, it's not every day.
That's every day as far as I'm concerned.
Well, not Tuesday either. So my point is this.
No, the point is, I am in the office and I've been working it.
Okay.
Okay?
So what I'm asking you to do though is, because that is your opinion. We're not here to talk about our opinions. We're here to talk about the facts. The facts are that office is supposed to be open for all the taxpayers Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. Now, also the fact is, he's the assessor, he's the boss. If my office was not run, or let's say the senior center, say if I didn't have a staff, I would be down here, and the seniors know it, doing it myself. I was here on Sunday for a Super Bowl party. Okay, my point is this, is that is the duty that you were elected to do. Now, I put a sign-up sheet out there, okay, and we are calculating how many people come to the door and hit the button. Last week, we had 6 people, okay, 6 people that come in, and you weren't there and signed up. And I called them back. That should not be my duty.
Well, it's going to be your duty,
Well,
because that's the way it is.
Okay, okay. So, all right. Well, let me ask, I'm just curious on this, because just to try to get your thought pattern here. I'm curious out there, who has had like a full-time job, full benefits, makes great money, and doesn't have to work? Raise your hand.
I believe full-time is like $1,200.
Right.
So even if you work like 30 hours.
Correct. So, Pete, look. Pete, nobody's raising their hands. Why are you different?
I'm not different, Derek. I work for the salary I get. You know what that job is really worth for the education I have? I have the highest.
You can, hold on.
That allows you to take off?
Hold on. What I'm saying is, Pete, this is what you ran for. This is what you promised the people. Do you believe that they deserve to have a full-time assessor? Let me ask you that.
Give me my staff back. That's it.
Well, but it's your call. Okay, so let's go on to the staff. Okay, all right. So, do you believe that it is the board's duty to to create the budget? Hold on, folks. Hold on. Hey. You're fine. Do you believe now, though, that it is the board's job and it is lawfully the board's duty to set the budget, and then you have to abide by that? Do you believe that?
No.
But the judge said twice.
That's that judge. The other judge wasn't in that.
Okay, all right. So you don't.
What I'm saying is, you can approve the budget, and we can certainly argue about some issues on it. But you don't create the budget. I have to put the budget.
We create the amount. Correct. You're correct in that we say, here's how much money. Do you agree that we levied the year before, the other board that was more favorable to you, we levied $383,971. Do you agree with
I
that?
have no idea what you want.
But that is what we levied. And do you agree that if, like most people, if that's what you have coming in income, that's your paycheck, that then you can't, or anybody, let's take you out of it, any assessor, you could go out and say, I need $1 million. And because I didn't get $1 million, you slash my budget $600,000. You can claim any amount you want.
No,
we set the budget.
You're taking that all out of context.
No.
Yes, you are.
Facts.
But, come on, let's go back and look at something else. I am required by the statutes
Correct.
to do every parcel
Mhm.
every 4 years.
And so is Edwardsville.
And so is Edwardsville.
Correct.
You know what? I look at the numbers. Edwardsville is not doing that.
But listen, this
Wait a
isn't,
minute.
we're not gonna go into opinion because we'll be here
No,
all
this is not
night.
opinion. This is not opinion, Derek. Give me my time now.
You'll have your time. You have the assessors. You have your report by the
You were
assessors
asking
coming up.
questions and you wanted to talk.
What I'm
trying
saying
to
is-
explain to you that I have to do that. I am complying with that. Edwardsville is not even close.
I could go on with many other questions. I don't wanna keep the people here all night. But, so your question.
Let's do it. We got.
Well, I could, okay, sure. One question, because this is created.
Will you be quiet?
Rachel, this is your warning. You had it last time. One warning. Next one. All right. My question is, do you believe that because it is created, and my staff can tell you, and that's why he's sitting in the back corner, all right? Do you believe that your staff, you should hold your staff to a code of conduct? Do you believe that?
My staff is held to a code of conduct.
So you do believe that?
Yes, I
So my
truly do.
question is, like on that door that you claimed at that podium, that I sexually harassed somebody by locking them out of the kitchen. I have a video of you, the door only locks on your side. And I've got the video. Why did you allow that employee in? Why did you say
Why did you
a
go
false
and
statement?
why did you go and make up the sign and carry it down the hallway and put it on the door?
Because
Point
to
of
show
order, please.
people, listen, this is, no, what's the point of order? I'm asking him about his code of conduct. He should not allow employees to create the division that is happening.
The point of
here.
order is
Yes.
the agenda is a new business and we should be.
We're
discussing
talking about the
censure.
resolution to censure the
You're going to censor
assessor.
it anyway, so, you know.
No, I wanted, here's what I want. I want to save everybody time, and I want to save everybody money, and I want to save everybody this negative energy that we have now. What I would like you to do is agree to comply with the judge's order with prejudice that you will agree to the new budget, and let's figure it out right now, right here in open.
No, not until I look through what the new budget is. Derek.
Well, you already know what the new budget is. I've
Give
said
me
it
a
at the
number.
last, if you would have been at the meeting, you would know. We are setting the budget to the exact number, okay, if this board votes for it. I'm just one vote. That's the thing people forget. They all pointed at me, I'm one vote. What I'm saying is that we would set the budget at the same number that we levied for. And if you look at the levy, you'll know what the budget is, because that's how everybody else has to live.
No, I mean, you don't even know how to levy it, so I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, so you're saying you will not comply with that?
I don't know, Derek. I want to look at it.
Okay, so, but the law is not, the law is very clear, and with prejudice,
I
that,
don't really care.
okay, you don't care about the law, then that's the answer, then we have to move forward with what we have to do.
You know, I don't agree with what the judge done.
Okay, but,
That's the fact of it.
right,
Just like Mr. Sewell
you
going
don't
up.
have to
Just
agree,
like Mr. Light.
you don't have to agree, you don't have to like it, but the law is the law. I might not like some things either, but here's the deal, the law is the law, and it's very
How come
clear.
it never applies to you, though?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And that's what I'm saying. If you, just imagine if I said as supervisor, I'm gonna spend whatever amount of money that I want because I'm the supervisor. And I'm gonna put up a big statue of myself.
Yeah, well, you were.
All right, what I'm saying
You were
is,
gonna move the ketchup
people,
bottle. Not with the
and
township
let me
money.
tell you,
Oh.
yeah, let me tell you. So,
Yeah, where are you gonna find 20 million to move it?
20 million. So, all I'm saying is you don't want to comply with the law. You're not going to come in. What about the
What do you
window?
mean I'm not coming in? I'm coming in.
Yeah, listen, what
That
about the
door is
car
open.
window? What about the car window?
Oh
Why,
my
when
God,
I
don't know
email
how- I
you?
don't drive that car.
Okay, then why did your staff leave the car window
I
down
have
when
no
I
idea.
repeatedly asked you to roll it up?
I never got any messages from you.
Then you don't read your email.
No, I
And
don't.
the staff knew about it. It had been sitting out there for a month.
Oh my God. I've had trucks that sit out longer than that. will.
But what I'm saying is, this is exactly what we're talking about, Pete. This is thumbing your nose. This is not your car. This is their car. This is their car. And it is ridiculous for
an
you
inch?
just...
You're worried about an inch?
I don't know what it was, 3 inches, but when we have a major snowstorm coming out, and for you to say, no, I'm not doing that, that should tell everybody. It's the simple things. Maybe it didn't ruin the inside, but it's the point of it.
Oh,
It is the point of it.
You are good at taking stuff off. Case. My job.
I wish you would
my-
just
listen to me.
apologize and say, I'm gonna do my job,
I do
and we're
my
gonna get
job,
through this
Derek.
for the
I do it better than
taxpayers.
anybody else does.
Again, opinions. All right, I will move forward with the censure. The censure came from Mr. Sewell, called me and said, what can we do? People ask, what can we do? All right, as you just saw, I would love to work with the assessor. It's impossible. He says, I'm not going to abide by the law. I don't know what else you want me to do. So, we are working with legal counsel to figure out exactly how we can make him abide by the law. And so this is a start. Mr. Sewell reached out and says, well, can we publicly censure him? And I says, yeah, you need to get somebody else. Margot then says, I'm on board with that. And we had our attorney draft up the censure. All right, because this is factual. This is not opinion. This is not feeling. This is the facts. And I will read it now, and then we'll have a vote. Whereas Collinsville Township previously adopted a budget and appropriations ordinance, the budget, for the 25-26 fiscal year, in which the amounts allocated to the general road fund, assessor's office, and the town fund were reduced year over year, and the assessor willfully failed to reduce spending in accordance with the budget, and the budget for the assessor's office was exhausted in early January, which required an emergency one-time transfer of $25,000 to fund employees' salaries through January 30th pay period. Upon depletion of those additional funds, the assessor laid off his employees and closed the assessor's office to the general public. And the assessor has continued to refuse to reopen the office during regular business hours to serve the general public while he is still getting his full pay and benefits. This is still his elected duty to run the Collinsville Township Assessor's Office. The township owns a motor vehicle used solely by the assessor's office in fulfilling the assessor's statutory duties. And despite repeated notifications that the window of the vehicle is rolled down, the assessor has failed to remedy the situation, resulting in the interior of the vehicle being exposed to the elements, which recently included a large snowstorm. And the assessor's failure to address the motor vehicle's window demonstrates a conscious disregard for the condition of the township property under his care. And this behavior is a severe detriment to the citizens served by the township, and this conduct is unbecoming of a township assessor. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Collinsville Township, Madison County, Illinois, that the assessor, Peter J. Paletti, is formally censured for his actions which have had a negative impact on the Collinsville Township. That's the censure, and I'll take a motion to approve.
I motion we approve resolution number 2026-R02.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
What about discussion?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so, I think what we're witnessing here right now is a end of a 10-year personal vendetta of Derek antagonizing Pete. With his comments earlier about saying he wants to work with Pete, there's no evidence of that for the past 10 years.
I guess we just witnessed it.
In front of everyone.
What we witnessed was a disgrace. in my
That's your
opinion.
opinion.
So, yeah, thanks for the commentary, Jeff.
You're welcome.
One other thing I'd like to say, because Derek is really impressed upon, we set Pete's levy. Well, Derek set Pete's levy. We voted on the levy. And if the levy is what you get, that's what you should spend. I would ask all the public to go back and look at the past 5 years of the town levies versus the town expenses that can be found in our audits. You will notice every year Derek has benefited as supervisor of years of over collection from prior boards. So for him to sit up here is hypocritical when he says you have the levy and that's all you could spend to the levy, because he has not yet done that as supervisor. So we can go ahead and vote now.
Okay. And just to mention, you have to add the grants in there, because last year, yes, we don't have to levy as much when we're getting $300,000 in a grant. So that's less money that you guys have to tax. You got that? We got a brand new parking lot with a grant. We got solar project with a grant. We got a bus with a grant. So I don't have to levy that. Roll call.
Who pays for that grant? Trustee Crowell.
Outside of Collinsville Township.
Crowell.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
No.
Trustee Prosser is absent. Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, items A through E, consent agenda.
So you got the minutes from the last meeting, and you have the regular reports from the assessor, highway commissioner, supervisor, and myself.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I motion we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Trustee Crowell.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. Next item is the approval of bills, starting with item A, general assistance. Clerk?
So general assistance for the month had expenditures of $5,392.64.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Okay, no questions, roll call?
Trustee Ball.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yes.
Crowell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Next, we have road and bridge, which for the month had expenditures of $188,966.94.
I motion we approve that.
Also.
Okay, no questions, roll call?
Trustee Crowell.
Yes.
Trustee Ball.
Yes, please.
Trustee Sewell.
Yeah.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Town fund had expenditures of $94,216.61.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Okay, no questions, roll call?
Trustee Sewell.
Yes.
Crowell.
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Finally, the senior center had expenditures of $5,674.17.
I'll motion we approve that.
I'll second.
Okay, no questions, roll call?
Trustee Crowell.
Yes.
Ball.
Yes.
Sewell.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. All right, next item, reports by officers and committees, if they'd like to speak. Kathy's here, this is our roads highway commissioner.
I really don't have a whole lot to say right now. We got that huge snow in January, and that was probably one of the most challenging we've had in years due to the weather. The cold does not help when snow comes like that. So I think we worked a total of 33 hours with the snow, and that's each person. So it was a lot to take care of, but we did the job, and I think credit to everybody around here. I think states and everything did a good job on it. it's starting to thaw now, so we're starting to get back into things. While we were in, we've gotten all the vehicles and equipment waxed and cleaned, and we're servicing them and getting everything ready for the spring and summer to get those jobs done. Beyond that, we're out trimming trees now, doing things that we can get out and do. I was, as you all know, I'm on the Township Commissioners State Board, and we lost one of our guys today. He had passed away of a heart attack, so that was sad news to hear. But on another note, I did pay the township official dues, and the president from the state board had called and said that they wanted to appoint me to the TOI board. So I will be starting that. They have to go through the process of meeting and approving it, but I should be starting that here soon too. So the good thing about all that is it keeps me updated with what's going on in the state. So we're up to date on the laws and that. And there's different things that we have to vote on for townships as a whole. So anyway, that's about all I've got right now. Like I said, finally weather's breaking. I hope it stays that way so we can continue to work. So
Thanks, Gabby. All right, our assessor is here. Pete, thanks for coming.
I think we've about covered everything we needed to cover for me tonight, so I don't think I'm gonna take any more time. And my significant other is having some issues that I need to get back and take care of, so.
You can't say nothing.
12 to 1.
Okay. So, all right.
What hours are you open?
That's the third outburst, Myra, that she doesn't be called out for any of them. Right here, third one. Right here.
Yeah. All right. We don't know. We don't know.
Is that warning?
We don't know. Okay.
8 a.m.
He just answered you.
So what was his answer?
8 a.m.
Till 12.
Till 12 or 1? 8 to noon.
I can't get them in before 8.
8.
That door's locked.
You have your own entrance.
I'm not bringing them in the building, that's not supposed to happen.
Who's them?
I'm talking about the people coming to use the office.
Right, it's 8:30. The office opens at 8:30. So you're saying 8:30 to
I
noon.
can't get them in at 8 a.m., but I can get them in at 8:30.
Okay, and you're going to stay till noon.
8:30 till about noon to 1 o'clock.
That sounds like a pretty good job. Very full-time pay, 8:30 to noon. I love that. No, he's done.
Part-time.
Right. So, listen. What's that? It's part-time, okay. Well, I don't agree. Trustees, ma'am, you're on your warning. Yes, you're welcome.
If everybody could just calm down and be nice.
Yeah, hold on. All right, Pete. All right, I just want to finish that up there. Okay. All right. Here, let's move on. Pete, let's move on. Trustees, if you have any additional comments.
I do.
Okay.
I actually do have an additional comment. So, and to carry on with the, trying to get the assessor's office to work with me. I actually went to that window that day, tried to learn about the assessor's office and tried to make a relationship with Miss Sandy Fox. I was told that she said, thank you, this conversation from her is over. I said, could we please cut this tie? Did you connect me with Derek Cox? I know there's a hate that is there. However, don't associate with me with this relationship. Give me a chance. And I said, could we have this conversation? Maybe even go to lunch. I'd like to know what you guys do. She walked away. Later she came to a meeting and she talked and accused me of asking her to step outside for almost like a physical altercation, which I'm a lady. I am not going to go outside. I would never ask anyone to do that. That was my first distrust with Ms. Fox and what they do in the assessor's office. Now, I was trying to keep an unbiased position on that. Next, I found out that with her testimony here, that she has a fake profile. Now I know who it is, Andy.
Hey, Andy, this is your last warning.
I know.
She did not speak when you were accusing her of
I
things.
know what your fake profile is, and I am constantly accused of being drunk, of being on medication. Have I taken this? And in this instance, I said to Albie Adame, or whoever she was for the day, no ma'am, have you taken yours? And I do also take screenshots of these things. So as far as I'm concerned, Miss Andy Fox has tried to bait me and trap me in a situation and then accuse me of breaking the law. This isn't the first time, obviously, and I'm very disappointed because after the first time, she tried to get me to sit down with her right here and let's just work this out. But we're back into, please don't try to bait me and trap me. I have proof to. And this is additional to what we are dealing with, the constant rhetoric out of the assessor's office, the constant, they initiate this disregard and this break in relationship, not the supervisor and not the board.
Correct. Thank you. That's true. Senior Center. I just want to say we had a great Super Bowl party. We had about 85 people here. It was a fundraiser for the Senior Center. A lot of them are here, and thank you guys for coming. I hope you had fun. I did. We have a live band tomorrow here. The band performs for free for the seniors, and so I want to tell anybody out there, come on in. If you know a family member or something that's lonely, wanting something to do, or a great meal, this is the place. I am sick and tired of the lies. My staff is tired of the lies that are put out about the CSC, and that even some people from their own union put out lies about my staff and the things here at CSC. We have a budget of $25,000 a year, okay? That is, Rob, you're on a warning. You're on a warning. What I'm saying is, we have the staff's budget here, all comes, and it has always come before me, and before this, has always come from the supervisor's budget. So the staff is, of course, out of the supervisor's budget. I'm saying we have an overall budget for food, for all the power, any kind of activities that we do in here. It's $25,000 a year, okay? And I believe, and a lot of that money that we do here is fundraising. And you might see that money going out, but you don't see the money coming in. The budget you have to put is the money going out, not the money coming in. Okay, we get a lot of grants. I just got news yesterday, and I'm very proud to announce that that parking lot over there, because when the card was dissolved, if you guys remember that, a long time ago, that I fought very hard for that the money go to the local municipalities, Collinsville, Maryville, Collinsville Township. We are now going to be getting $60,000 next year, right around $60,000 next year. Okay, that's going to pay off that parking lot, and moving forward, maybe we can find, again, it was brought up about the piece of land that we have next to the building. All right, it is my duty, in my opinion, to go get money back for us. Okay, that money is allocated. Do you guys just want me to let other communities have it, or do you want me to go get it back? Yeah. What I've done is gone and got it back for you guys, and for me, for all of us, okay? And so, we have a food grant. We have all kinds of other things that go on. We have, and I've been told by many, the best senior center in the entire Metro East, and I'm very proud of that. All right, we have a good family in here.
I'd just like to make a few comments about the upcoming annual town meeting. I sing this song every year. The second Wednesday of April is our annual town meeting. The one great thing about about township government.
Second Tuesday.
Excuse me, second Tuesday of the month. Great thing about township is, government. It's a little unusual in the fact that we actually do have government of the people, by the people, and for the people at that meeting. That is your meeting. That is not this board's meeting. The only board member that has, the only person sitting at this table that has any standing in that meeting is me. And when we start the meeting, you guys will appoint a moderator to run the meeting. I'll just take the minutes, but it's your meeting. The electors, you guys, can bring actionable items to the board if you choose so. It's a limited list of things that you can do. If anybody wants to see the list, I have the list. And we've done this before. I think when we purchased the parking lot, we actually used that. But you actually, and the reason I'm announcing it now is that if any group of people want to bring something to the board, you have to do it by petition by March 1st. So you have basically 3 weeks to get that done if you would like to bring something to the meeting. And anybody's interested, see me afterwards. I have a list of the things. It's pretty limited, but if you're interested, come to me. I'd be happy to show you.
Thanks, Jim. So that's the second Tuesday in April. Okay, last is supervisors' comments. I'll make it less than 3. I want to say how proud I am of the members of this board who stood up to loud, hostile voices and stayed focused on doing the job the taxpayers elected us to do. That job is simple: reduce wasteful spending and be responsible with the public's money. I understand that change can be uncomfortable, especially for those who have held positions for several decades without ever having to adjust or be accountable. But for the overwhelming majority of our residents, fiscal responsibility is a positive thing. Taxpayers expect us to spend wisely, and they deserve nothing less. We must continue encouraging every municipal board to do better. Leadership often presents 2 choices: the easy thing, and then there's the right thing. Our duty is to always choose the right thing every time, even when it is difficult if we don't. Collinsville will continue to struggle. We've already seen population declines here and across Illinois as families leave high taxes and policies that make it harder to live and work here. Property taxes are simply becoming unaffordable. I tell friends that live in other states, some states absolutely beautiful places to live with amazing services. In some cases, I pay 4 times more, and their house is more valuable. Many families cannot absorb that kind of increase. They would be forced to move or risk losing their homes. That's not acceptable. High property taxes are driven by wasteful spending and poor leadership. This is exactly what this board is addressing, and the waste must change in every government body statewide. Despite the challenges, we've had some great accomplishments over the last few years, and none of them were easy. I stepped into an office that had been run the same way for decades, and meaningful change always comes with resistance, but we pushed forward. We secured a $125,000 grant to build a parking lot for the senior center. We implemented time clocks for accountability. We installed solar panels that were fully grant funded and now saving taxpayers thousands of dollars. I could go on with many more. Now we can add that we are saving taxpayers hundreds of thousands each year on your property tax assessments. These are common sense improvements that should have never been controversial, yet they have made a real difference. My focus remains on serving the taxpayers and improving our community. That is why I will continue to tune out the agitators and stay committed to the work that matters. With that in mind, I would like this board to consider passing the 26-27 budget as early as possible. I plan to have the proposed budget ready next month so we can review and vote on it at the April meeting. My hope is that we continue leading by example, cutting waste, operating efficiently, and delivering results for the people we represent. That is what good governance looks like, and that is what our residents deserve. That is exactly what this Collinsville Township Board is delivering. Thank you guys for all coming, and I hope you guys have a good night.